When I wanted to quit, somebody once asked me that question. When we were fighting the big legal battles in Zimbabwe, someone asked me the question, did you ever think of quitting? I said, yes. They said, what happened? I said, my wife said she wanted to quit. So what happened? I said, she changed her mind. So I carried on. So it's important to have friends and partners around you that believe in what you're doing. Reach out for those people, because it's going to be lonely, it's going to be tough. I make a joke of the fact that my wife was the one, but you've got to have real friends and partners out there, okay? And it's also important to create, that's why it's important to create networks of entrepreneurs. You know, you guys, I wish I was your age. The kind of technology you have, here we are in a conversation of Africans reaching out across Africa, talking to each other. And sometimes I marvel when I see a comment and I see a string of comments going on in a little group of people around something, sometimes having an argument about what I meant, and I keep quiet. Believe you me, that excites me. You got to build your own networks of entrepreneurs. You got to be talking to each other. You got to know what others are going through. You see, these associations you see, Tanzania Chamber of Commerce, or, you know, Zimbabwe Trade, you know what? They were started by entrepreneurs just like you when they were young. They didn't come out of Noah's Ark, so make your own, okay? Build your own networks where you strengthen each other, where you reinforce each other, where you're exchanging ideas with peer groups. Because sometimes it's one thing to know what Dangote does, but it may be more relevant to know what your neighbor did who is in exactly the same situation as yourself. Okay? So build these networks. I hope that some of you will build networks around, in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam, wherever you are, in local communities around some of the issues I discussed. Because those will take you through some really difficult patches. I hope that kind of touches on, I want to go to the idea there about 80% of businesses die that are started. Yeah, that's a global statistic almost. So let's not worry ourselves about it. Go start another thing, okay? Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. There are no jails anymore for people who failed and went into bankruptcy. You know? It used to be like that in the 18th century in England. You went to jail if you went bankrupt. Now you get an award. Okay? So don't be afraid of that. What is important? For me, Africa's challenge is not entrepreneurship. You want to see entrepreneurship? Go to our markets. That's entrepreneurship. Our informal sector, that's entrepreneurship. For me, the challenge for us is how do we scale to build bigger businesses? Okay? How do we scale to build our own big companies? Our own African companies, more and more Dangotes and so forth. Okay? And I'm about imparting the skills that take you there. Because I think that's where we've kind of missed the trick for you. Showing you some of the pitfalls of growth. How do you build up, scale up, the challenges? How do you hire other people? How do you know, I remember I needed a really, I'll give you a story. I had needed an engineer in my business. And so I called this guy up and I said, you know, if you take this job, I'll give you a fantastic car. He said, really? I said, yeah. And I gave him the keys to my car. I said, that's your car now. He said, how will you go about it? I said, don't worry about me. And he had the best car at the business. My car. Okay, are you prepared to do that? You have to be prepared to do that and more. Sometimes you give them stock, sometimes, these are the things that we haven't talked about in sharing to the next generation, that we as your senior brothers, as they say in Nigeria, will have to do more and more so that it's easier for you to scale out in your businesses.